So it's times like this in life, you have to ask yourself the big philosophical questions. The big philosophical question, of course, is why am I here? Why am I sitting in a brand new Tesla Model Y? You might ask yourself, well, why is that such a big question? The reason for that is obviously the situation currently with Elon Musk and his involvement in American politics and the fallout that has led to with regard to Tesla sales and issues around should you really be buying a Tesla these days? Is it somehow suggesting that you're supporting Elon Musk and his agenda that he seems to be very heavily involved in terms of the Trump presidency? Very disappointing involvement it is too, considering Elon Musk, a lot of the reason that people got interested in Teslas in the first place, and I can certainly say this for me, was because of the environmental aspect of driving an electric car, as well as all the other benefits of cost savings and speed and all of that good stuff, quiet. One of the big things was the environment, and Tesla was always pushing, you know, when you drive your car, you're saving so many tons of CO2 gases that you're not pumping out to destroy the planet. And so Elon Musk kind of became a poster boy for forward-thinking, environmental protection, these kinds of things. And by lashing himself to the Trump train, he's kind of gone contrary to all of that, which is really counterintuitive. You know, he's jumped into bed with a guy who's an outright climate change denier, as well as being a huge threat to democracy in America, peace in the world. The man's obviously a complete idiot. And for Elon Musk, someone like Elon Musk, to get involved with someone like that, it leaves a sour taste, I believe, in the mouths of people that bought Teslas, on the basis that it was kind of a badge of honor to drive a Tesla because you were doing your bit for the planet. And now driving a Tesla, or a swastika as they've unfortunately become known, is kind of the opposite. It makes you look like you support those people in America, certainly Elon Musk, and you're paying into Elon Musk's pocket to drive one of these cars. And we shouldn't be supporting somebody that is actively trying to tear down the American government and do all sorts of damage to the world in the process, which I understand. So that was kind of the dilemma of investing in this car. Should you do it? Is it the right thing to do? Is it a good decision? So to give you a bit of backdrop as to why we've bought this car, since lockdown and COVID, myself and my wife became a one-car family. My Tesla Model 3 Performance was our sole car. We sold the BMW that my wife used to drive because I was working from home, so she would take the Tesla to work every day, and there was no desperate requirement for us to have two cars, and we've managed to live like that for the last 4 or 5 years. Thankfully for us, or luckily for us, my wife's business is doing well to a point where we could afford to take on a second car, and it was something we've thought long and hard about. And the initial idea was that we'd look at maybe an MG Cyberstar, because my wife wanted something sexy. and the Cyberster looked like a really good option for us. I've always wanted to have a Tesla Model Y. For practicality purposes, it's a bigger car, it could take more luggage, and the new Tesla Model Y long range, with a 384 mile WLTP stated range, although we know that you would never get that in real conditions, but that kind of range I think is a very difficult prospect to ignore. So we went for a test drive. We tried to get test drives in a Cyberster, but our local MG dealer didn't seem to be able to get hold of one, and they kept phoning us and saying, yeah, we'll have one soon, and then it's just like they forgot about us completely. In fact, ironically, I think the last call that they made to us was the day that we went to Tesla in Chelmsford and took a Model Y out for a test drive. And I don't know if the salesman heard me say to my wife, because he literally phoned while we were in the car. I said, tell him we're buying a Model Y, which she didn't, but that was the last we heard from the MG salesman. So yeah. So my wife, even though she wasn't a great fan of the look of the Model Y, she did really enjoy driving it. So we decided that we were gonna buy one. I won't bore you with the details of the ins and outs of what deal we eventually got. We originally looked at it last September when they had some amazing deals on. For one reason or another, we didn't buy one at the time. We got into February, and obviously it became apparent that the EV road tax rules are changing in the UK, and if we wanted to buy a Model Y, we needed to buy it before the end of March to avoid having to pay the luxury car tax that was coming in April. As of April, we need to pay £195 in the UK, I believe it is, for road tax for an EV, and any EV worth over £40,000. I think in the follow-on years you need to pay another, I'm going to say £695 road tax as a luxury vehicle. If you bought your car before the 1st of April, then that follow-on charge you wouldn't have to pay. So it was really not much of a choice for us. We wanted to get the car. The new Model Y that was coming out was a lot more expensive. They didn't have the deals on that, and it wouldn't be available until the summer anyway. So we decided to go ahead and buy one of the last Model Ys that was going to be coming into the country. So effectively I had one of the first Model 3s that came into the country in August 2019. My wife's got one of the last old style Model Ys coming into the country. And my wife was concerned about the whole Elon Musk situation and what was going on in the US after Trump bizarrely won the US presidential election. How so many Americans voted for someone that was obviously so corrupt and so incompetent, and so, I can't even think of a word to describe him, an obvious narcissist, obviously someone that's only interested in himself, doesn't care about anybody else. But he did promise people he'd bring the grocery prices down on day one, and they all fell for that lie, as they did all of his other lies. And somehow he is now the most powerful man in the world, bizarrely. And I think America is going to pay for that. He announced his tariffs this week, which is going to decimate the excellent economy that he was left with by Joe Biden. He's going to destroy that. So well done, all of you. You can kiss your pensions goodbye, and your cost of living is going to go through the roof. So, well done if you voted for Trump. Anyway, we won't go too far into that. I'm obviously not a fan of Trump's. So getting back to the story, my wife was concerned that we were going to get some blowback in this country for driving a Tesla. Obviously, Teslas have been vandalized and set on fire in the US. There's been issues with Tesla dealerships. Thankfully, not too many Tesla owners seem to have had too many problems, which is good, because hopefully people aren't stupid enough to think that vandalizing someone's personal car is a good thing, no matter how much you might hate Elon Musk or what he's doing out there. So yes, I said to my wife, look, ultimately we could have looked at other car brands. We could have looked at BMWs or a Volvo, or there's plenty of good electric car options out there on the market now. Unfortunately for my money, Tesla is still the best one, and the reason I say that is a very, very simple reason: the supercharger network. The Tesla supercharger network, you can't fault it. It's cost effective, it's reliable, it's fast, it just does what you need it to do. It takes away any kind of range anxiety. You can go on long trips, you know when you pull into a supercharger it's going to work and it's going to be good. And I just don't think the infrastructure is there, the reliability of the infrastructure is there for other car brands at the moment. And that was that was part of the genius of Elon Musk, to give him his due. He knew that the charging infrastructure would need to be there first for people to adopt EVs, and so they rolled out the supercharger network as a priority, and I think that's paid dividends for them in the long run. It's a fantastic system, and for me, that would be the main reason that I didn't go anywhere else. You may say, well, you're putting money into the pockets of Elon Musk. Elon Musk has got so much money, even though it's probably worth a lot less now since he's been involved in the Trump administration, which has tanked the stock market and ruined Tesla share prices. I'm still sure that he's not short of $1 billion or 30, so he's never going to have to worry about where his next ride's coming from. And I'm sure the money that I've put into his pocket is really not going to make a hell of any difference one way or the other. The Tesla share price has tanked. Me buying a Model Y isn't going to change that. So for us, this car is the best option. It's a beautiful car. The interior's, we've got the white interior. That's beautiful. My wife loves it. She loves driving it. It's big, it's comfortable, it's quiet. I know the new Model Y is supposed to be all that and more, a much better driving experience apparently. But for us, this was the sensible choice. And regardless of how we feel about Musk and Trump, and the damage that Musk is doing to the Tesla brand, I still love having a Tesla. We're lucky enough to have two now. My Model 3 is still as exciting as the day that I first got into it. Every time I get into it, the car's now 2019, it's sort of 5.5 years old. So and it's the first car I've ever owned in my life where I get into it and I don't think, oh, this is getting a bit tired now, I need to get something with newer technology, or I need to get something that's faster, or I need to get something that's quieter. That car is still ticking every box for me on a daily basis, so I would never change it. I bought it outright in the first place with the view that I would run it until the batteries died, and there's no sign of that happening at the moment. It's still got plenty of life in that car after 5.5 years. In fact, that's the biggest thing with electric cars. They will run and run. There's very little to go wrong on them. So you do wonder where electric car brands are going to be if people stick with those cars, and they don't have a reason to replace them, because it's not like they're going to have a gearbox or a clutch or anything that's going to wear out, or an engine that's going to blow a gasket. You know, these cars are going to run for years. So yeah, it's kind of too good a product in some ways. So yeah, anyway, that's us now, a 2 Tesla family. We've got a car each. I've got no regrets about us getting the Model Y, and I just thought I'd share those thoughts with you. I've got some other thoughts about the Tesla delivery process and the handover process, which was very almost anonymous. You walk into the Tesla dealership, the car's there, you sign a piece of paper, and they say go out and find your car in the car park, and that's it. It's a 5-minute handover. You don't really spend any time with the salesman or anyone showing you around the car. You're just told, yeah, your car's over there, away you go. Which is not a great experience. The whole customer service experience of buying this car has been a complete nightmare. You can't speak to anyone. You try and message people via the app. No one replies to you. My wife was in a conversation with someone on the app via text, and then they just stopped replying. And so the customer service is awful. You know, it seemed like their attitude was, if you don't want the car, then we'll sell it to someone else. We don't care. So that whole experience was a really negative one. But the car itself is great. I say that there is a problem with a charger, trying to put the home charger on it, but it does charge on superchargers. So yeah, anyway, I'm starting to waffle a little bit now. I just wanted to share those thoughts. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, give us a like and a subscribe. I never really know what my videos are going to be about until I make them. It's usually around Teslas or guitars or drums or musical equipment. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.